Good morning, everyone. I'm Denise from the University of Sewing, and thanks for joining us on Facebook Live. I'm here today without my buddy Margaret. Margaret, we miss you. Margaret is off on a wonderful, fun family weekend adventure. She has gone to see her son and his beautiful family in Virginia. And my understanding is there has been a ballet recital involved and some other cool things. So, Margaret, we miss you, but we hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Can't wait for you to come back home, as always. So, I've got so much to share with you today, guys. Got some cool things hanging up here in the background, but since we're talking about Margaret, who we miss, let's talk about her a little more. I suspect she's watching. You guys may have seen this little newspaper print that we have hanging here in the shop. The date on it is actually from 1990, so it's been around for a little while, but it's got a great picture of Margaret. And this is back in the day when Margaret started her quilting adventures, and she was actually the president of the very large Indianapolis Quilt Guild. And my understanding is she was, if not the youngest, one of the youngest presidents of that guild, which is really kind of a cool accomplishment. While she was working with the members in the guild there, she got to know Kay England, who some of my quilting buddies may be familiar with. Kay's a very well-known fabric designer and pattern designer. Margaret used to do samples for Kay. And then Kay actually owned the shop Quilt Quarters, who eventually it went to our friend Terry. Oh my gosh, I couldn't think of Terry's name. It went to Terry. And then, of course, Margaret became friends with Terry. And sort of through that friendship with Terry is kind of how we became a Bernina dealer, which is really kind of cool. I don't know if you guys know, but we've only been a Bernina dealer for a little over 2 years. And the adventure so far has been really kind of neat. Margaret continues to make friends and do cool things, and this year she actually got to teach a class to other dealers at Bernina University. How cool is that? I'm a little jealous I didn't get to sit in on that one. But I've got some cool things hanging behind me here that Dave has shared with us today. Those of you that know Margaret probably also know that she worked in New York doing costumes on Broadway for a while. And our suspicion is that this particular piece was influenced by her time in New York. You can see very definitely a skyline kind of theme in there. And then maybe this one over here too. Again, those of you that know Margaret know that she is incredibly skilled and talented, but she's also one of those people who can look at something and just figure out a way to do it. She's not necessarily a pattern follower. She's got enough experience that she understands the concepts, but she's not necessarily going to do it the way the pattern designer suggests. Which really, guys, I'm going to remind you again, the pattern is always the place to start. Make it your own. Whether it's a quilt pattern, something you're going to hang on the wall, something you're going to put on the bed, a garment that you're wearing, no matter what it is, make it your own. And Margaret's kind of she's definitely not a rule follower. I don't know that she's a rule breaker, but I think we could all use a little of that non-rule following in some of our creative endeavors. So I've got some other goodies to share with you. Those of you that watched yesterday, these are our finished little kimono tops that Alice and I demoed on our fantastic Bernina L890 sergers. We've got one for mom or grandma, and then one for a little person in your life. Again, just a simple way to do something fun. And next to our wonderful fun kimonos, we've got our sample t-shirt quilt. It's almost done. We need to tweak the binding a little bit on it and get that wrapped up. But this will be hanging up here in the shop with info about an upcoming t-shirt quilt class. So be sure to check by the shop. Be sure to check the website, universityofsewing.com, under the classes tab to get information that will be upcoming on that. And speaking of websites and checking things out, I almost forgot, Dave, we do have a giveaway this morning. So we appreciate so much when you guys watch the videos, and of course when you share. That helps to get all the cool things that we do and the wonderful things that we offer out into the world. At this point, we have shipped to all 50 states and a couple countries, which is really kind of cool. But so much of that is because of you guys sharing. So as a thank you for you watching and sharing our video, we do a little drawing. So this is what we're going to offer today. This is a 42-piece pack of 5x5 fabrics from Pat Sloan and her Morrison Park line. Pat has a really big following online, so I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with her. There's some really cute things in here. So how do you win this, you ask? Well, be sure to share the video. That's really important. but also make sure you tell us that you shared, because Facebook doesn't tell us. So if you'll just put in the comments, shared, we will put your name in the hat to make sure you're entered for this drawing. And next week, we'll let the winner know who it's going to. So don't forget to share.
You mean like Kathy, who's on vacation in Gatlinburg, who just shared?
Ah, Kathy, you are so awesome. We love you. We really do have the best customers, guys. So I'm going to carry this around so I don't forget to remind you, but we're going to go over this way. I've got so much to share with you that has come in this week, but we have to go by our beautiful Bernina Crystal Edition 590. On Saturdays, we don't usually talk about Bernina things. We focus on fabrics and patterns and that kind of stuff. But this one's so pretty. How could you walk by and not say hello? This is the last one that we have. When this one is gone, there will be no more. We cannot reorder it. It comes with a ton of extras, including these awesome special edition trolley bags, a big box of embroidery stuff, of course, all the lessons you could ever need if you need tips and pointers on how to use this gorgeous machine. But come talk to us if you're interested in that one. It needs a good home. We're going to walk by some more of our lovely Berninas. Our 7 series is here. This one is exclusively embroidery. This one does embroidery and sewing. And Bernina is offering a great gift with purchase right now. So again, if it's something you think you're interested in, give us a call or come by. We can share all the details with you. Margaret is out of town till Tuesday, guys. So I might be able to make some deals that maybe wouldn't happen when she's not here. You got to come see me though. This display is our newest. Are you guys familiar with Laura Star? It was kind of a new thing for me when I started working here. It's really kind of an exceptional ironing system. It's not just an iron. And we're tweaking the display a little, doing some more training. There's a couple different versions of this and how it works. Definitely stay tuned for some demos. And of course, if you want to come in and try it out yourself, we would absolutely love to have you. It's one of those things when you use it the first time, you just kind of giggle because it's so different. And as Dave mentioned this morning, it's definitely not your grandma's iron. She would be tickled to use this. All right, guys, like I said, I have much to share. Let's go this way to the table. Wait till you see how much I have on the table for you. I thought about stacking it up, but I'm only a little taller than Margaret, so I'm afraid you wouldn't see me. But the table's pretty well covered this morning. Look at some of these gorgeous things that we've got in. Where do we start? Let's start in the front. These two are absolutely the cutest and the softest of the flannels that I have seen lately. We have gotten in several new flannel fabrics. We've got some solids. We've got some really, really cute prints. These would make adorable little receiving blankets or quilts, or maybe you've got a kindergartner who's going off to school for the first time and it's full day. Lots of times they will have a quiet time after lunch and they'll need a little blankie or something to snuggle up with. This would be a great way to send them something soft and cozy from home. So be sure to check those out. And just a reminder too, guys, all of the stuff that I'm sharing with you is always on our website, universityofsewing.com. If you have any questions about what you see or you can't find it, give us a call. So I'm going to move our flannels. I'm going to get my workout this morning moving fabric around, but that's okay. Margaret has been asked by several customers lately, actually, about carrying Minky or Cuddle or something like that. Well, guys, she listened, and look what we have. Look how cute these guys are. Pandas in pajamas. I don't think it gets much cuter than that. This is the Minky. It's not actually the Cuddle branded version. It's a low loft. So when you're cutting it and sewing with it, it's going to be a little less messy in your sewing machine and on your cutting table than some of the others. It's just as soft and cuddly and snuggly. And I think this is one of those, the more you wash it, the softer it gets. I might have to make myself something just to find out if that's really the case. But we have several of them, some really cute prints. And these, maybe you guys are familiar with the self-binding baby blankets. They have kind of a mitered border on them, but the border is actually folded over from the back. These would be so cool to do in that. There would be nothing that wasn't the soft, snuggly Minky. So come check these out. Look at that, narwhals and polar bears. I love it. The colors are super sweet. we've got some gorgeous batiks that have come in. Often we think of batiks as the very bright and bold colors, and they are, and they have, you know, some really pretty prints that are stamped into them. This is a little different version. It's definitely more pastel, a lighter sort of thought to them. But if you haven't sewn with batiks, gosh guys, try it. Quilters, you're gonna love it. It sews beautifully, irons beautifully, washes beautifully. If you've got a young person that maybe you're just teaching how to quilt or trying to teach some of the piecing aspects to, batiks are a great way to do that. I find they don't fray as much as some of the others, and because they're a little more stable, I think the newer sewers actually have a little more success working with something like a batik. So keep that in mind. Look how pretty these colors are. The lovely lilac, some green. This is a pink, but it's got some orangey in it, which is really kind of cool. A nice little warm yellow here. It's got a little hint of that pink. Those would be fun to play with together, I think. I could see a very sweet quilt out of these. You guys know that I see everything as a quilt. I see quilting patterns, I see the squares, I see the blocks. My brain translates it all to quilts. Margaret translates it all to garments, I think. But that's okay. All right, so we've got the cool batiks. Look at this one, guys. We keep talking about, you know, the world we think is sort of opening back up and you can go and have adventures again. Here's a wonderful travel panel. It's really kind of neat. And I think this would be adorable in a kid's room, maybe even in a playroom, in a classroom. It would be super cute. I know there's a lot of people that are doing some homeschooling. This would be kind of a neat thing to hang up in your room. You could do some really fun quilting around these guys, or just do some straight line quilting and hang it up just because it's so stinking cute as it is. There are some companion fabrics that go with this one. Let's lay this guy out here. This is a nice big print. Let's see if I can turn him the right way so he's not upside down for you. With the toucans, the camels, the buffalo, the polar bear. This would also be a really cool I Spy quilt for kids, I think. A lot of people I've seen are making kind of those little quiet books, and I think an I Spy book would be a great quiet book for those times when you need them just to sit a little still and maybe not chatter quite as much as we like them to do. So that one's cute with it. And then of course these are coordinating ones also in lots of different colors. That gray I think is a really pretty, rich gray. It's got a little texture to it. And it could be used in lots of things actually. And kind of the same idea with this one. This is definitely more of a tan. There is a little hint of green in here. I'm hoping that's coming through on your video. But that would be fun to play with. This one is definitely what I would call more of a taupe. It's the gray, but it's got a little green in there. Not so much a green stripe, just more of a green tint, I think. Such great colors. And so often I feel like a lot of our colors are geared towards more feminine interest. These could definitely go either way. It's hard to find things for little boys. And this is a gray, but it's a little more of a green blue kind of background in it. So if you're not sure about the colors on these guys, you can give us a call. We could even send you a sample if you want to make sure that it will match the project that you're working on. We would be happy to do that. I've mentioned a couple times this morning about giving us a call if you have questions, but I haven't shared the phone number with you. That might be useful. It's 812-323-2665. But of course the email is always available too, and that's info@universityofsewing.com. Let's move these gorgeous guys over and go to the other end of our table. So when Margaret's here, we often talk about garment things, and we've gotten a lot of really, really cool garment fabrics in, guys. Even as a quilter, I'm looking at these going, I don't know what I would do with this, but it's gorgeous. So I decided not to bring those out today because I really think Margaret will do much better justice to those than I ever could hope to. So next week when she's back, have your snacks, have your drink, have your notes ready, because she's going to go through all this stuff that we have, and you're really going to be interested in some of these. In the meantime, we'll continue with the quilting adventures here. Guys, look what we got. You're familiar with that phrase, low volume prints? That's exactly what these are. So they're light colored backgrounds. They do have some print to them, but the print is so subtle that it really makes a fantastic background for whatever project you're working on. And the cool thing is we've got these low volume prints. We've got 2 different versions, but we've got 4 different sizes. We've got the 10 by 10 pieces, and this is, I think, 40 or 42 pieces in here. This is by Blank. Let's see if I can say what the name of this one is. This is, it just calls it Lower the Volume. That's kind of a cute name. And then we've got Little Whispers by Wyndham. And this is the same idea, just a little different line, different manufacturer. These are all 5 by 5 pieces. I'm gonna scoot this label over so maybe you can see these a little better. And look how cute that one is, oh my goodness. And these would be adorable for, gosh, a bag, if you're doing a pieced bag. Of course, the background for an applique project would be fun. Might even work for an I Spy quilt. There's so many cute little details in them. Look at the mushrooms. So we've got this one in the 5-inch charm pack. We've also got it in the jelly roll, which is the 2.5-inch strips. There's 42 in this package. And then look at this one, guys. This is the 30-piece fat quarter bundle, also of the same Little Whispers. And I'm going to tilt it so you can see just a little better how those kind of play together. Now, maybe you're not familiar with low volume prints and what we do with them. Maybe you do more garments, so this is kind of a quilting thing, but I can help you out with that too. This is one of our patterns. And if you look, there's actually 3 in here, I think. The background here is all these low volume prints. And then this adorable little tomato is appliqued on top of it. It's kind of a collage effect. This one I love with the dressmaker model on it. But that's what all of these are. So even if this particular project isn't something that you see yourself doing, I think the concept is something that any of us would have fun playing with. This one, I love the combination. They've got some brighter things on the bottom, but the low volume on the top 2/3 of the project. And there's a couple other patterns here in the shop quilt patterns that I think would be fun in that aspect. We've also got this little book, which is a wonderful guide to pre-cuts. And of course, that's what we call all of the packaged pieces, those 2.5-inch strips, the 10-inch layers. I won't call them their proper name. We don't want to get in too much trouble. The 5-inch squares or the fat quarter bundles. So this has got all kinds of ideas of what to do with them. And this little guy is only like $8, guys. And of course we ship anywhere. So if this is something you think would be useful to you, maybe you're thinking about holiday gifts already for some of your sewing buddies, this would be a good idea to tuck in there. And then this one, guys, I just saw this the other day and thought, oh my goodness. So this is by Lori Holt. Scrappiness is Happiness. What a cute name. Of course, she does all kinds of scrappy things. Lori Holt stuff is super cute. She's actually got a great following. You can see some of her scrappy things on here. She's got lots of low volume. I think she also has her own particular low volume line happening right now. But this book has got patterns for lots of different quilts. And one of the things I love the most about this, and I've mentioned this in some of our other things, is this spiral binding. Guys, when you're working on a quilt, it's no fun to have a book that you have to wrestle with the book as well as trying to figure out the directions or trying to make that block work. The spiral binding is such a simple concept. I don't know why they don't do more of them spiral bound, but it makes life so much easier. The other thing I do like about Lori's patterns, and I'm getting to the point where I'm a little picky about what patterns I want to play with. You'll see Lori has arrows indicating which direction to press. And you certainly don't have to follow those, but gosh, it makes it easier if that's there. You can decide then if you want to do it that way or not. And the other thing that I look for in a good quality pattern is a trimming measurement. So this one, it says it should measure 12.5 by 13.5. So when you get to this point, you can double check your measurement, because there's nothing worse than getting to the point of putting all of your blocks together in that top. You're so excited and things aren't fitting quite the way they're supposed to. I hate it when that happens. So, excuse me. Lori's book, definitely check that out. We're gonna move over this way. Let's see. Got a little bit left to show you. So the theme for kind of the final end today, Kay Fassett, right? Another incredibly well-known, very popular quilter. He's been around for a very long time doing some amazing things. We've got some of his stuff in, guys. We've got a few of the 42-inch wide fabrics of Kay. This is just one of them. This is the Millie Fiore print, which of course reminds everybody of that Venetian glass, which is so cool. So we've got kind of a light, medium, and dark version of this one. And then next to it, we've got some bigger ones. We do have a couple of his wide backs. These happen to be 108-inch wide backs. These are also Kay, of course, but they are a cotton sateen. So if you feel this one, it feels really nice. If you feel this one, there's almost, gosh, almost a shininess to the feeling, if that makes any sense at all. If it's something you want to come in and check it out, absolutely. Come pet the fabric. We love that. But the cotton sateen makes a beautiful back on your quilt. But guys, it's 108 inches wide, which means it would also make a really cool dress because you've got plenty of yardage to do a nice, maybe a full fun skirt or something. Again, you know, I'm the quilter, not the garment sewist, but I think it would be really cool to play with these. So we've got a couple of these. Definitely come in and check them out. And I pulled these out just to show you some of the solids that we have. We talked about our the low volume prints. We don't talk about our solids enough, I don't feel like. We carry RJR Cotton Supreme. We have almost the entire line. If we don't, it's probably getting close to the entire line. And they sew beautifully. There's a couple other brands out I know that are really popular. I would encourage you to compare the two and see what you think. The price is definitely comparable. And I like them a little better than some of those others. So check those out. We've got a fantastic selection of solids. We've also got a mystery bundle of Kay. Now each of these, my understanding, is a little different. This one is, how many pieces? This one is, well, it's a mystery how many pieces. There's a bunch of them in there. There's a 16 on here, but there's more than 16 pieces in there. So,
Hey, I have to share, you're getting all kinds of compliments. Elaine, Rebecca, they're always saying you're doing a great job.
I love our customers, guys. They really are the coolest, and they are the best of friends, and I love that about every one of them. So, the only other thing I've got for you is one more cute little Kay packet. This is a little 5-inch square package. I don't think it has as many as some of the others in it. It feels a little thinner, and I don't think it's that. Oh, it's 42 pieces. So you could do all kinds of fun things with this too. So guys, what do you think? That's a lot going on, right? And this is just the quilting stuff. I can't even give you a hint of the stuff, the garment things that are here, but you definitely want to check back next week when Margaret's here to see what she's going to share on those. And speaking of sharing, don't forget, this is the Pat Sloan Morrison Park 42-piece 5x5 charm pack. And this is what we're giving away to somebody who shares our video today. So share the video, let us know that you shared. We put your name in the drawing as always. It's so fun. I get to send the messages out to say, guess what, you won, and it's so cool. I get a couple people who say, I never win anything. Well, you might. So be sure to share. We really do appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We are grateful. We really do have the best customers. Margaret, we miss you. We'll see you on Tuesday, but I'm here till 5 today, so shh, come in and let's see what kind of deal we can get you on a machine or who knows what else. So for myself and everyone else here at the University of Sewing, thanks again for watching. Have a great weekend.